Welcome to the Fortify experience, where I will be sharing with you a pass through a simple process that is personalized for you to help you quickly free yourself from feeling lost, because negative feelings can stop you from feeling better about who you are and the circumstances that you're in, and they can keep you from moving forward on a positive path. Now, what are the negative consequences of feeling lost? Well, first of all, you have no sense of direction. And then you're wrangling with not being able to relate to people. And sometimes you can't relate to the rest of your life even. Other times it's that you're totally uninspired. So there are really negative consequences of feeling lost, and we want to get rid of that for you. So now during this process, you'll be filling in 7 blanks from A through G. So have a piece of paper and a pen or pencil handy so you can write down your answers. And if at any point during this process you need extra time to complete the statements, feel free to pause the video. And if at first you have trouble thinking of your own examples, feel free to use the examples in this video as your own, because it'll still work. So now let's begin the process. The first step is to fill in the blanks to the statement, "The thing that bothers me the most about A, feeling lost, is B." So now write down feeling lost for A, and then write down why it specifically bothers you, personally, for B. Examples could be, "Nothing moves me." Another one could be, "I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing." Another example might be, "I don't have a solid footing." So the statement again is, the thing that bothers me the most about A is B. Fill in your personal B. The next statement is, the reason this bothers me is because it makes me feel C. Now this is your uncensored, real underlying feeling. So examples could be, makes me feel stagnant, or maybe disoriented, or could be, makes me feel off balance. So now fill in your C for, the reason this bothers me is because it makes me feel C. So now we go into step 3, and this is the key to the ingenuity and the effectiveness of the Fortify process, because here's where we're going to uncover the specific positive aspect within you that is unintentionally being ignored, dismissed, dishonored, or forgotten in this situation. And this positive aspect is something that you love, value, or respect about yourself, and you know to be true about yourself. And it's what's missing when you're feeling that feeling C. So the statement is, the fact that I feel C demonstrates that the positive thing I love, value, or respect about myself is D, where D is some aspect of yourself that's not being used or honored in this situation. For example, I value having a positive direction. Or another thing, example might be, I want an intuition that can guide me. Or another thing might be, I value stability. So now, the statement again is, the fact that I feel C demonstrates that the positive thing I love, value, or respect about myself is D. So fill in your personal D. Now in step 4, it's time to fortify D in your mind-body system. And this is easy because here's where you're simply going to remember a time in your life when you were activating and using D, that positive aspect that you discovered in step 3. These are memories that remind you that you have been able to trigger that positive aspect D naturally and automatically in other situations in your past. The statement is, I know D because E. So now search your memory and find any pattern or circumstance in any area of your life that confirms the fact that you possess that positive attribute D. Now at this point, there could be many examples, but sometimes the simplest ones can be the best. So for example, it might be that I know D because a positive direction is motivating. Or it may be, I want to know that I'm doing the best thing. Or it could be, I do my best work from a solid foundation. So now fill in your personal E for I know D because E. Now in step 5, it's time for you to think of a specific time when you experienced that positive value in the past. The statement is a specific time when I really felt the strength and power of E was F. So examples might be when I decided to go to Disney World on vacation, or it might be when I moved to a cheaper apartment, or it could be when I took a project management course. So now fill in your personal F for a specific time when I really felt the strength and power of E was F. Now we go into step 6. Now remember back to that time F, and we want you to get into that experience and really re-experience that whole event and feel what it felt like, and really feel how good or strong it made you feel. And feel the inner strength from that experience that makes you feel inspired, empowered, or really, really good about yourself. And now make that feeling really strong, and then double it, and then triple it, until you can feel that feeling really vibrating throughout your entire body. And now identify in a word or two what's the underlying real strength there. The statement is the underlying real strength that made F so powerful for me was G. Examples could be I was being inspired. Or another example might be I was identifying the best option. Or another one could be structure. So now fill in your G, your personal G. And now we go on to step 7, the copy process. Now here is where you're going to copy or embed that real strength G from another time in your life into that bother that you started out with. Now focus on that powerful real strength feeling G in your body and hold on to it. And now from focusing on that feeling, make that feeling really strong, and then double it, and then triple it until you can feel that feeling vibrating throughout your entire body. And now imagine taking some of that powerful energy G that's in your body and putting it into a bowl in one of your hands while still holding on to that real strength G in your body. And feel that energy pulsating in your hand. And so now as you hold a ball of that powerful positive energy G in one hand, remember what that old feeling C felt like, and put a ball of that energy C into the other hand. And now you're about to experience that powerful neurolinguistic programming technique that's incredibly effective. We're going to use that ball of positive energy G that's in your one hand as a solvent that will completely dissolve that ball of negative energy C in your other hand. So now as you start bringing your hands together, start noticing how the positive energy can literally start dissolving that negative energy, and keep mixing that solvent in with the negative energy until all of the C energy is totally and completely dissolved, and all you can feel is that powerful positive energy of G. And feel how good it feels to have completely dissolved that energy C. Whew. So now let's see how you did. Let's start a new list and write down your original A. Using the same A as you did before, feeling lost, complete the following statement. The thing that bothers me the most about feeling lost is B. Now write down your new B. Now you may be surprised that your new B is different from your original B, but this is fantastic because when this happens, it proves that your previously hidden inner strength has been both activated and installed into that negative issue that you started out with. Otherwise, your B would have been the same as it was before. And this is the uniqueness of the Fortify process. It proves that your state of mind has progressed because it validates that you have transformed and shifted yourself into a different and perhaps a more powerful state of mind or a more peaceful state of being. And this is a benefit you can't get from any other technique. So at this point, if you've not yet been able to answer nothing for B, then all it means is you can simply come back and do more passes through the Fortify process using your new B's so that you can find and stack additional positive inner strengths into that negative situation. And each time you come back, you'll be using that newer B until you can finally answer nothing for B, or until you're satisfied with the progress that you've already made. Now, depending on the complexity of the issue, there have been many times that I've gone through numbers of passes through the Fortify process before I could finally answer nothing for B. But that's when I'm able to really feel the relief, because that's when I just don't feel the same grip or sting of the original negative situation. And not only that, but I can see myself feeling more in control, more self-confident, and recognizing options and inner strengths that I didn't realize that I had before. And when you just don't feel the same anymore, imagine how different things can be when similar situations come up in the future. Can you imagine how good you can feel having overcome situations in which you felt lost in the past? You might wind up being much more surprised than you can imagine. And not only that, but by activating and embedding those previously hidden positive inner strengths, you've also boosted your self-esteem and self-image for that situation. And this is something that can't be taken away from you now that your real strengths have been brought into your conscious awareness. And don't be surprised if you find yourself exhibiting those real strengths in other areas of your life too, because now you're consciously aware that you have those real strengths. And that means that you will now be able to use them to your advantage. For me, it's always fun and eye-opening to do the Fortify process because it makes me feel good to find and activate inner strengths that I forgot that I had. I hope you have surprising and rewarding insights about yourself like I have had. Whether you're dissatisfied with relationships, money, or career issues, or you have home or family problems, just decide how it's specifically affecting you, and then choose the best Fortify video that will diffuse your negative feelings and watch your self-direction and self-assurance quickly and easily improve. So now, as we thank you for joining us, we suggest that you look at the other YouTube videos that we cover in our YouTube channel to see what might apply to your other life situations. And please tell your friends and family about these videos, because you never know who they might be able to help, and they're all free with no strings attached. We would love to hear about your Fortify experiences, so send your comments to thefortifyexperience@gmail.com. And also check out our Facebook page and the Fortify Kindle book on Amazon.com by clicking on the links below. And please subscribe to our channel so that we can keep you informed of new information and new videos. Thank you so much for joining us. See you next time.